right? Because Israel life requires discipline, right? It requires discipline, and y'all hate that. Y'all hate that, right? Read on.
Verse 19. Who being past, feeling have given themselves over unto lasciviousness.
Lasciviousness means lewd, filthy, right? Filthy lust, all right? Wanton, undisciplined. That's what that means, right? Read on.
To work all uncleanness with greediness.
Right, to work all uncleanness with greediness. Right, what is uncleanness? Uncleanness is living outside of the law of the Most High. Right, you eat pork, shrimp, lobster. Don't you know Israelites have a dietary law? You can't eat what you want to eat. Don't you know that? We have a way of dressing. You can't wear what you want to wear. Right? Our women is not supposed to wear mini skirts, having their cleavage out. That's against the Most High. Right? You're supposed to be in modest apparel. You understand? Read on that.
Verse 20. But ye have not so learned Mashiach.
Right. You didn't learn that kind of lascivious behavior from Yahweh Shai Mashiach, the one you ignorantly call Jesus Christ. You did not learn that from him. You understand? And with all these churches they got around, how come y'all ain't learning nothing? Because y'all are still living how y'all are living. Ain't nothing changed. Women going up into the church with mini skirts on. Right? Their cleavage all propped up, showing every man what they got, showing every man their goods. That's what's going on in the churches. These pastors are committing adultery. They sold out to the government under what's called a 501c3 charter. The government tell them what to preach, how to preach it, and when to preach it. Right? But again, our people love it so. Right? They love it so because they do not want to change. Right? Read on.
21. If so be that ye have heard him and have been taught by him, as the truth is in Yahweh Shai.
Right. So you have heard him, which is the truth, and have been taught by him. Right? Matter of fact, give me Colossians, the 2nd chapter. Let it break it. It's going to break itself down. Right? Colossians. Colossians chapter 3, start at verse 5.
All right. Colossians chapter 3, verse 5. Fortify, therefore, your members, which are upon the earth.
Meaning discipline. Right? Discipline. You got to have discipline. Read that again, huh?
Verse 5. Fortify, therefore, your members, which are upon the earth. Fornication, uncleanness, how do you say that? Inordinate
affection.
Inordinate affection, evil, concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry.
Right. Matter of fact, I want you to read that one more time again for me, y'all.
Right, verse 5. Colossians chapter 3, verse 5. Mortify therefore your members, which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil, concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry.
All right. It says to mortify your member. Right? But the bottom line is saying, have some discipline. To sum it up so you can understand it. Have some discipline. And to prove it, give me Proverbs 25 on. To prove it, give me Proverbs 25. Proverbs 25, verse 8. Proverbs 25, 28. It says, mortify your members. Right? Meaning, have some discipline. Right? It's not every fat booty you see, you're going to chase it down. Right? Not every pretty face you see, you're going to chase it down. Right? Likewise the woman. You understand? Not everything that you see you want, you're supposed to jump at it. Have some self-control, some discipline, right? Read what you got.
Proverbs chapter 25, verse 28. He that has no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls.
Right. He that has no control over his own spirit, no self-discipline, right? It's like a city whose wall is broken down. What that is saying is this: a man that has no restraints on his emotions, his feelings, his desire, his passions, right? He's going to be carried away by them, right? He's going to get taken by them. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning when temptation come upon you, if you have no self-discipline, when temptation come upon you, you're going to get taken by it, right? You're going to get taken by it. So it's good to have self-discipline, all right? It's good to have self-discipline. Now go back to where we were at now. Go back to Ephesians.
Colossians 3 and 5.
22, right? Go ahead.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 22. That he put off concerning the former conversation, the old man which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust.
Right, you have to put off that old man. Again, that old man is the person you were before you woke up to the truth of the Bible. Right? So you woke up to who you are. That old man before that was in the world, doing whatever the world say do or what society deem right, morally acceptable. That is the old man. Right? You have to put off that old man now, because now you know the truth. Right? You know the way of the world is death. So you have to change, meaning put off that old man. Read on, huh?
24, 23. And be renewed in the spirit of your mind.
Right. To be renewed in the spirit of your mind. You understand? Read on.
24. And that ye put on the new man, which after Yahweh, the Most High, is created in righteousness and true holiness.
Exactly. You have to put on the new man. The new man, the new person, the new you. You have to do that. Right? But this new man is going to be what? Righteous, holy, acceptable unto the Most High. You understand? The way y'all are living now, y'all are defiled. Right? Y'all are defiled. And guess what? You're going to be destroyed. You understand? Give me Colossians 3 again. Colossians 3, start at verse 5. Have to bring it out. Have to bring it out. Colossians 3 and 5 again. Right? This is about discipline. Right? Our people are lacking discipline in these last days. Read what you got, huh?
All right. Colossians chapter 3, verses 5.
Read on.
Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth.
Right, again, mortify, right, to sum it up so you could understand it, right, it means discipline, self-control. You got to control your spirit, control your desire, control your body, control yourself. Read on.
Okay. Fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, okay, and covetousness, which is idolatry.
Exactly. And discipline will kill all of this. If you're disciplined, all this stuff right here, it has no root in you. You understand? You know how to keep yourself under control. Right, read what you got, huh?
Verse 6. For which things, see, the wrath of the Most High cometh on the children of disobedience.
Right, for which things sake the wrath of the Most High cometh upon the children of disobedience. Meaning, if you're not going to obey what the Most High is saying, right, His wrath is going to come upon you. You understand? You need to know what obedience is and be obedient to the word of the Most High. Right? Be obedient to the word of the Most High. Why? Because if you're not, you're going to feel the wrath of the Most High. All right? Read on now.
In the which ye also walked sometime, when ye lived in them.
Right, but we was in the world like y'all at one point too. Right? We were in the world too. Right? But what? We obeyed the word. We were renewed in our mind. Alright? We were obedient to the word of the Most High. That's the difference. We are obedient in the word of the Most High. You understand? That's why we stand before you here, doing what we're doing. Alright? Read on now.
But now also put up all these: anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of the mouth.
Why? Because those right there belong to the old man. That's the characteristics of the old man, the old you. Right? Read on.
Lie not to one another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds.
Right, you see that? You put off the old man with his deeds. That's the thing the old man used to do. The old you used to do that. Right? You was an adulterer, a liar, a thief. Right? All that. Plus some. Right? You was eating pork, shrimp, lobster, crabs, clams, whatever. You used to do all that. Right? But you have to put that off. That is the old man. Now you're a new creature in the Lord. Right? You're a new creature in the Lord. You understand? And that is your reasonable service to be a new creature in the Lord. Right? Read on.
Verse 10, and have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge, after the image of him that created him.
Right, you see, I put on the new man. The new man. And that is the thing. Our people don't like change. They don't want to put on that new man. That disciplined man. That humble man. That righteous man. Alright? Or strive for the righteousness unto death. Strive for the kingdom of the Most High unto death. This is real life. This stuff is serious. This is pertaining to your salvation. You understand? This is pertaining to your salvation. Whether you live or whether you die. That's how serious this is. But it pertains to your salvation, whether you live or whether you die. Alright, read what you got, Art.
11.
Matter of fact, jump to verse 12.
Verse 12. Put on therefore as the elect of the Most High.
Right, you see that? Remember I tell you, many are called, few are chosen. Right, the chosen are called the elect, the eclectic ones. Right, the chosen are the elect ones. So he said, he's going to show you the characteristic of the elect and say, put that on. Read on.
Holy and beloved, bowels of mercy, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long-suffering, forbearing one another.
Forbearing me to sustain or to hold up. Right? To hold up. Right? We are our brother's keeper, man. You understand? We are our brother's keeper. Read on.
And forgiving one another. If any man have a quarrel against any, even as Mashiach forgave you, so also do ye.
Right. If Yahweh Shai forgave us, so we have to forgive our brother if he trespassed against us, right? Let's get that in James. Because if you want mercy, you have to show mercy, right? All right. James 2. And 13. James 2 and 13.
James chapter 2 verse 13 reads, but he shall have judgment without mercy, that showeth no mercy.
Right. So if you don't show no mercy, you're going to receive judgment without mercy. You see that? If you don't show mercy, you're going to receive judgment without mercy. Right? Read on.
And mercy rejoices against judgment.
You see that? And mercy rejoice against judgment. Because right now, we're in the time of judgment. Right? We're in the time of judgment right now. And guess what? When it's your turn to be judged, if the Most High have mercy on you, right? If the Most High have mercy on you, you will be rejoicing. That's right? Read on up.